In the quest for knowledge and the expansion of consciousness, the concept of spiritual psychosis is a very prominent thing. It's really nothing to be afraid of if you don't give it that power, right? However, since it is still a topic and, as a collective we give it life, I do want to share some advice, share some input from my own experience about the concept of spiritual psychosis and why I think grounding is so important. When I say grounding, it's very broad, but the essence of it is finding practices that keep you connected to nature and to this experience. Because when you're looking for knowledge, right, when you're expanding your consciousness and you're increasing your frequency, you're vibrating higher in a sense where, you may be discovering things that make this not seem as real as it is. Because, there's a duality to it, right? In a lot of ways you can say that it's not real, but in the same breath, this is our real experience that we're living. You start seeing angel numbers everywhere. You start seeing how things are connected, or, things in your life have just been a process of repetitive cycles that have been going on. And that can really cause people to spiral if you don't have the right grounding practices in place. There's so much that you can do to ground yourself, and realistically, it's up to you to figure that out. It works differently for everybody. One thing that seems to benefit the majority of people that I've talked to and talked about this experience with is actually planting your bare feet in the grass and physically grounding yourself, because we are so connected from nature, and oftentimes we ignore that connection. When you go back to it and share your love with nature and receive that love that is coming back to you, it brings you back to this reality in a sense. Other than this, yoga, sound healing, those are both two things that I think really helps me stay grounded. Journaling, another really big thing, because you're still taking count of experiences that are going on and you're not as much in the clouds, let's say. You can do a whole series talking about different grounding practices, going off about each one, but ultimately the best grounding practices are the ones that work best for you and keep you tied to this experience and, allowing you to enjoy the present moment, because that's ultimately what we're supposed to be doing here. We're supposed to be in the present moment, enjoying ourselves, being love, and being authentically ourselves. So if you're being authentically yourself, your grounding practice might look different from mine and might look different from the other person watching this video. However, as long as it is keeping you connected and in a state of, rest and not in a fight or flight mode, you're good.